What's up, everybody? Welcome to Piper Academy. I'm your host, Army Piper, coming at you every Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m., bringing you all of the alpha, the knowledge, the data, the charts, the market, the technical analysis. That's the word that you guys need to be successful and find, some profit because knowledge is profit. So I'm not giving you ways to make money. I'm giving you knowledge. You do what you want with it. Okay. Thanks for joining me here today. We've just had core inflation data come in today. So we're going to jump into that. We're going to take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin. I got a couple of articles, but first I have a question for everybody. I have a question. I'm going to show you this video here, and I want you guys to tell me, would you trust this with your car? Because my wife showed me this yesterday, and I talked about it this morning with Crux of Crypto on our pre-prep, and I want to know what you guys think. So I'm going to pull it up here. Here we go. Would you trust this AI automated refueling thing here with your car? Look at this. This is just my vote is no, but let me know in the chat. One, you would trust this touching your car, or two, no, thing is not touching my car ever. So it's just it's a cool concept. It's a cool design. But I don't trust something that is robotic with hydraulics touching the side of a car. I mean, I've leaned on a car before and dented in the side. So I can just imagine this thing just completely jacking my car up. So, but keep in mind, it does get like 110 degrees down here in El Paso. Or if I live someplace like up in New Jersey, I don't know, New Jersey maybe, um, it gets pretty cold. But you guys don't fuel your own cars in Jersey anyways, do you? Did they change that? Let me know. No, never. Oh, hell nah. Yeah, I didn't think so. I'm just this to me is just a big nope. I agree. I agree. Perfect. All right, that's what I need to know. So thanks, guys. Uh, you solved that for me. Not a good idea. Your car is Eric Wallace said my car is old as blank. I would. So there you go. So some people, yes, but no, you don't fuel your own cars. I thought they were changing that though, Gia. I thought some bill was coming out that you guys would be allowed to, be grown ups and fuel your own car. Okay, let's look at core data today. We're going to look at that. We've got the independent data that we're going to take a look at. We're going to look at the CME here. We're going to take a look at the Bitcoin liquidations, of course. This one here, you guys are going to love. We're going to take a look at this here. Bidding wars. Bidding wars over apartments, not homes. People are bidding on apartments. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to take a look at this article here. China's newest move to support stocks. Um, they've got some shady stuff going on over there, so we'll take a look at that. SEC, we may have something indicating that a Bitcoin ETF may be here before the year's end. So we'll take a look at that. We're going to talk a little something about Bitcoin miners and what they're doing to prepare for the next halving. A lot of stuff going on there, and they are they got to make some changes before it happens. And then lastly, we're going to take a look at X hits the spot. I got some stuff here from Kabisi's letter talking about the inflation. And then, of course, guys, of course, we're going to talk about these charts over here, this stuff. Bitcoin pulling back hard, and we're going to take a look at some stocks together. So that's what we got planned today, guys. I appreciate you guys joining me here. Shout out to all of my mods in the chat. Shout out to everyone that's joining me here every day. And make sure you guys share this video, get it out there, let people know what we're doing over here on Piper Academy. And don't forget to do that thing right there, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and get notified whenever we go live. Without any further ado, folks, let's get it. So let's jump in here to the news today. Looking at the news here, right off the bat, economic calendar, core inflation data coming in today. 3% was what it was actually at. It was previously at 3%. Consensus was 3%. Forecast was 3%. That's called neutral, folks. We did have core inflation rate year over year, was at 4.3%. Consensus and forecast said 4.1%. Came in at 4.1%. So good job on them nailing that there. And then inflation rate month over month, and we're going to break this down a little bit here in a second, guys, was at previously at 0.6%. Consensus and forecast was 0.3, 0.4. Actually came in at 0.4 with the forecast. So year over year, 3.7% was at 3.7%. Nothing This inflation rate is not coming down, just so you're tracking. And then we had the CPI, initial jobless claims, 209,000 people filing for unemployment this week. Of course, we're going to see that change um, because that's what happens, and they update this all the time. And we're going to talk about that. I'm actually jumping to X marks the spot first because there's some stuff that is relevant here. This is a Kabisi letter, okay? And he says, well, first let's go to the other one. Here we go. We're going to bring this up here. And he says, breaking September CPI inflation comes in at 3.7%, above the expectation of 3.6%. Core CPI inflation at 4.1%, in line with the expectations of 4.1%. We have PCE and PPI inflation rising with CPI inflation above expectations. How can the Fed cut interest rates anytime soon? Great question there, Kabisi letter. Let's go take a look and see what that's saying. Um, this is the CME Watch Fed Watch tool, and this has got 87% chance of a pause on November 1st. Okay, 87%. 12.6% chance of a rate hike. When we go to December, however, though, look at this, guys. 35.7% chance right there of a rate hike in December. So I'm going to be watching this 60 to 35 here and see if this starts to move as we get closer. But as of right now, yeah, it looks like pauses all the way through here. Going to be paused, going to be paused. But there is a ever slight chance, 1 in 3 chance that we see a rate hike in December. So back to X marks the spot. He had some other good stuff going on here. This is the interesting one here. So while CPI is at 3.7%, inflation is much higher in many basic necessities. And this is, you guys talk about, like, how can inflation be going down? Nothing's getting cheaper for me. Here you go. Here's that info for you. Car insurance inflation, 18.9%. Car repair inflation, 10.2%. I use both hands, predominantly left. What are we talking about over here? Nothing, just seeing how common us Erics are. Yeah, gotcha. What's up, Ben Redden? How you doing, brother? Shout out, bro. Uh, yeah, okay. Transportation inflation, 9.1%. Rent inflation, 7.4%. Homeowner inflation, 7.1%. Food away from home inflation, 6%. Meat and poultry, 4.8%. While headline inflation is down from its highs, many basic necessities are still seeing a 5% plus inflation rate. It's also worth noting that we do not have deflation, we have disinflation. So, and when you hear people say deflation, it's disinflation. While the rate of inflation is down, prices are still rising. Affordability is still getting worse. We have been dealing with elevated inflation for 3 years. 3.7% inflation in September is building on years of inflation before 2023. So that's what he has to say there. We'll come back to that in a second. But he was talking here, interestingly enough. Look, rent inflation, 7.4%. We're going to get into this article here in a second, and I want to show you that. We got the Fed Watch tool. We did that. We did all that. We did that. Let's get into the liquidations, see how the liquidations are looking here. Past 24 hours on Bitcoin, 19,673 traders liquidated for a total of $53 million. Of those, shorts, long liquidations, kick in the butt. Let's go 24 hours here. Sorry. Long liquidations, getting shorted. It's the short winner. Shorts are the winners. Longs are the losers. So talking about, inflation. Bidding wars over apartments. This article, I read this yesterday and I just stumbled across it. So it was, I couldn't believe it. It was mind blowing. Bidding wars over apartments are more ferocious than ever, and they're here to stay. So this guy says him and his roommate. I'm going to summarize all this for you. They went to were looking for a 2-bedroom apartment. It was reasonably priced in Manhattan's East Village. We figured it's too good to be true. Went to the open house. Practically everything they wanted. Looks nice. Nice lime tree road. It's got hardwoods and nice high ceilings, all that. The owner of the apartment, soft spoken, delivered the blow. He had already gotten several offers for a little place, including one that was $100 more than the asking rent. So they later on they got an email that week that they had received applications from them and 17 others. So rather than adopt the first come first serve, Phil, the owner of the place, did a victory auction. Everyone would have until noon the next day to email him a blind bid. The highest bid would only have to pay the second highest bid, though, so that way they felt like they got something that someone else was still willing to pay. Um, yeah. So the format allows for the winner to have the comfort that they're paying a fair price that someone else was willing to pay there. Anyway, this ended up going on. The figure was recently closer to 16% is how high they're going over rentals in Boston area. So yeah, it's this is what's happening. That is happening over there all around the country. People are bidding on set rent price apartments, people. And the way that the builders right now, majority of builders right now are not looking at building homes. They're looking at building apartment complexes because right now, hey, Otter, Otter, my man. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining me on the show. Alex of Crypto, guys. If you don't follow him, you need to. He does great content. And he's awesome. I dig him. Anyway, this apartment rentals. People are building apartments, not homes. So there's a big drive that no one wants to pay and get locked into a 8% mortgage rate for 30 years. So they're moving to apartments, and now we're starting to see the cost of that. It's bidding wars for apartments. It's ridiculous. So, China. China's trying to make some moves, guys, to fix their economy. Check this out. China's newest move to support stocks seem limited in impact. Central Huijin investment lifts stakes in four big bank stocks. Oh, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pump money into these four banks. That's called keeping your banks afloat. We do it in the US too, but we do it after they collapse. It looks like China's trying to do it before they collapse. So China stepped up its intervention in the stock market with a sovereign wealth fund, increasing its stake in the country's biggest banks for the first time in 2015. So I just wanted to point that out that China very worried about their economy, and they should be. Their economy's doing worse than us and here in the U.S. But they're trying to pump money into their banks to keep them afloat. We already know that banks have a huge liquidity problem. Shout out to China for creating a false economy even more by putting money into your banks before they fell. Um, I want to be a bank. I'm just going to put that out there. I want to be First Bank of Rick. Uh, we can go and mess up and not do anything right, and taxpayer money will still flow our way, regardless of if we're a communist nation or a democratic nation. I love it. I think we should do that. If you guys want to be a bank and be supported by the government instead of supporting the government, put a one in chat. SEC. SEC is actively engaging with spot Bitcoin ETF. Bitcoin ETF issuers signal high likelihood of year-end approval. Let's go. Let's go. I love it. The unfolding situation with the Bitcoin spot ETF has reached a critical point with open letters from Congress ramping up pressure on the Army Bank US. I love it. On the pressures on the SEC, recent developments from BlackRock indicating positive news is on the horizon. Um, I'm not going to dig too much into this because this can all change next week, but it is good to know that the fact that they are actively engaging with issuers on the current filings via comments, which hasn't ever happened, we think appeal unlikely, denial unlikely. Again, we're holding the line at 75% odds of an approval by the end of the year. So there we go. That's what I wanted to touch on there. Uh, Bitcoin mining. Look, guys, a lot of the miners, I'm going to summarize this. Bitcoin miners are doing a lot of movement right now, trying to get their rigs in place for the halving event because when it changes, the key takeaway on this article, here, right here, you guys see this? This is the difficulty rating, which is the blue line, versus the price of Bitcoin. And so you can see that every halving, there's a correlation here of halving times, and it just gets harder and harder and harder and harder. So as we're even going right now, it's getting harder and harder from November. So when it comes out with the new halving, it's going to be super difficult for them to get this 3.25, and only the ones that are like actively that have the most powerful computation machines are going to be able to take those rewards. So I know that it has to do with the ASICs here. If you returned ASICs, so it has to do with that. But Marathon, Riot Platforms, but the big one, guys, the big one is by far Clean Spark, and they just did another purchase of new rigs. Um, Bottom line up front here, no one is going to be able to mine from their homes anymore after this next halving. The days of Eric Wallen or Crux Crypto having a rig in their house and just mining Bitcoin, that's not going to be a thing anymore. Um, that is going to be only the big companies, and they're going to have these massive warehouses, and they're just going to be chipping away at little Bitcoin off of each rig. Have hundreds of rigs, so that is the future. Let's get into my X marks the spot final stuff here. Um, I had one more thing in here, I believe. That's the PCE. There we go. Yeah, yesterday minutes came out. There you go. The minutes came out yesterday, and here's what they said from the FOMC minutes from last month. All officials agree rates should stay restrictive. Fed sees downside risk to economy activity. Fed sees upside risk to unemployment. Fed generally views risk as two-sided. The balance sheet reduction could continue for some time. Inflation remains unacceptably high. So basically, pretty hawkish stuff coming out of there yesterday. So, all right, let's get in the charts, shall we? Let's go do some charts. Um, who we got here? Late again, crypto tag. Spee, I see you there, bro. I see you. I see you. Uh, we got a little poll in here. You guys can see that poll. Is it the taxpayer's responsibility to bail out a private bank in the event of a collapse? No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Um, Nice W for UTEP last night. Busted my parlay, but it's cool. I like it. Yeah, UTEP's pretty cool little college here, guys. It's up in the like mountain. It's a bowl. It is a bowl cut into the mountain for their stadium, so it's pretty cool. All right, looking at Bitcoin here on the 12 hour. Yesterday, guys, let me go ahead and turn off Chart Prime for a second. I always leave it up because I got to see what my charts are at. But if we look here on the range fibs, we were talking yesterday, and I said, and I don't know if this was on TA Talks or not, but I was talking about the order blocks and the Platinum Pocket 786 to 887 here. And I said, we're losing right now. We're losing because this would have been yesterday morning, right there. Yeah, yesterday morning would have been at the beginning here. I said, well, it looks like we're trying to fight back into the golden pocket. If we can't hold the golden pocket, we're likely going to be going down. And if we lose that 50 exponential moving average, 50-week moving average there, and I believe there's also something else there, a trend line, yes, and a trend assist, be looking for that 786 in line with that order block, the 887 with that order block. That's going to be your platinum pocket there. Almost there. We're heading down that direction now as we speak. So that's what I'm watching for on that. And then uh, you can look here. There's a couple of bullish things that I'm seeing on the charts here, guys. We are starting to get the indicator down here for oversold. However, we've had that before where it's just stayed sideways. So keep that in mind. It doesn't always mean that we're moving back up, but it's a bullish indicator. And we weigh out how many bullish compared to bearish we have, and we go with that, right? On the bullish side here, we are starting to get a little curvature on the ribbon of the oscillator. Let's go and look at the other oscillators and see what we're seeing here. Trend Fusion oscillator coming in. Trend Fusion oscillator, go. All right, so money flow looking weak still. Let's get that in there so you can see. Yeah, money flow is coming down right underneath the ribbon here. If you can see that blue cloud behind here, it is starting to curve a little bit. I would not call that bullish. I would just call that a pause in momentum. RSI here is got a decent sized candle on it for the RSI primed. We're not seeing any wicking going on. You see here, look, I want to show you guys something. See here, we got a wick at the bottom. We got a wick at the bottom. Typically, that's what I look for. We got one here. Let's go see what that was. Yeah, that's where we came down and pulled back up. That's why there was a 50% pullback, and then it dropped again. Right now, we're not getting any wicks on the RSI, so getting low, but not as low as it can get. I mean, you can see back here, we got super low. So yeah, I'm feeling more bearish on Bitcoin today. It's not looking very bullish to me. Lash the smike button, Eric Browning said. I agree. Smash the like button. Let's do it. Yeah, that's the 12-hour. Let's look at the 4 hour, see if anything's changing on here. I want to throw up the MVP oscillator for this to see if we're doing anything. I know Tim just talked about this on Investing Bros. I do want to point out, let me turn off the fib ranges. There we go. You guys see these lines here. I'm going to turn off those too. You guys see these lines here. This gold one here. There's a blue one there. There's a gold one there. Those are called predictive ranges, and they come from the Chart Prime Dynamics Pro. But typically, price tends to trade in the trade band here. You can see here we were above it for a while. We came in hot on this one, and that was, we were trading at that range. But then we came into this. So predictive ranges, gold trade bands, like the golden pocket. Okay, you can see every time we hit the bottom there or the top, it was our rejection point, or even close to it, right? And then the blue line in the middle, the median, is the delta. Right now, we are at the delta line on this on the 12-hour. There's a 12-hour predictive ranges. If you guys have Chart Prime and you don't have them turned on, here's where they are. Predictive ranges, 50, 12 hours. I like to use them on 12 hours because it works for me. Because I look at 12-hour charts. And then if I go to a 4-hour, I can still see 12-hour predictive ranges. So it's beautiful. But yeah, we do have some support right there. I'm going to be watching for that to break at about 26,700. That's also going to be the where I start saying, okay, we're heading down to the 786 and very likely to the order blocks that are sitting right there on top of it. So um, that would be on the 12-hour, by the way. If you guys want this indicator, only show of the show, check down below. You can grab them 45% off your first monthly or quarterly. It's in the description. Um, yeah, let's go. Looking here, we do have some green on the 12 coming in on the prime oscillator. Again, I think that the sentiment is more bearish right now than bullish, and regardless of what I'm seeing, I'm not going to be making any moves yet. The reason is because this might be green right here, but this can still come down quite a ways on this ribbon right there. So let's go check out some other stuff. Looking at Ethereum down today. Oh wait, pause, hold for effect. I do want to show you this. Looking at the fib channel update here, you can see we have pumped up a little bit as we've come into this line. And remember, I told you, if we break this line, I do feel like we are probably going to hit the bottom of the platinum pocket. So that's what I'm watching here. This 786 on there, which is currently coming in at about 25.9. I do find it interesting as we were trading along the bottom here that we started to curve up with that range. So keep an eye on that. On my, I will try to bring this up to you guys weekly. If you want to see me, if you want to see it any other time when I don't bring it up, just let me know in the chat. Bring up the fib channel, and I will show you where I'm at on this. It's a pretty good one. Buy after the Bitcoin ETF comes out, Piper? No, I'm just not ready to buy right now. I want to maximize my bang for my buck, dude. I got out at the $30,000 range and saved all of my profits, and right now I'm making 4.9%. So until I see that we're getting close and I've got my finger on the pulse every day, I'm not picking up anything. I do believe we got lower to go. I don't have to catch the bottom, dude. I only got to be in there for the next bull run. If the 4-year cycle's still a thing, I'll make a killing. So you got to remember, 3.5x breaks 1 million. So I don't need to catch the bottom. Let's get into the stock heat map. How do I pull that? Okay, yep. Actually, Mr. J, catch me in the next TA talk, and I will show you guys how to do this. Is that cool? Because you watch my TA talk over there on Chart Prime Discord on Wednesdays. So, heat map. Looking at the heat map. Let's go here. I want to make sure we got the most recent data. This is our stocks. Google, Microsoft. Microsoft coming in 0.2% down, probably because of that letter they got from the IRS. Shout out to Investing Bros for dropping that data in the Investing Bros Discord, because they owe like billions of dollars in taxes according to the IRS, but they're going to fight it, and we're not going to see anything off of that for years. But this 0.2% that they're down today, probably from that. Google up a little bit, Meta down a little bit, Adobe up 2.25%. So good job, Adobe. Who else we got here? Electronics. Let's go to the tech. Nvidia up about 0.5%. AMD up 1.25% today. Clack. Don't even know what you are. What are you, Clack? Nano electronics. No, that makes complete sense. Da 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 da. Let's go check our crypto heat map here. And let's make sure that we got the most recent data on here. Yes, sea of red, folks. Bitcoin down 0.5%, Ethereum down 1.39%. Tether, not really moving. Good, it's a good thing. BNB, USD coin, XRP down 2.16%. Solana down 3%. Cosmo, let's go see. Oh, what we got in here? Let's go. Chainlink down 2.25. Avalanche down 3.8. Guys, I love this watch. Let's go all the way into the small stuff down here. What do we got down here? Anything I recognize down here on the bottom of this? No, no. If you guys see anything in there that you recognize, let me know. I don't recognize anything in the bottom of this list. That's crazy. All right. So, yeah, a lot of red in all the charts today. I don't see anything really doing good. I mean, Kronos, the Crow token from crypto.com, that's doing decent. Um, Anything else? What is this? Frax. Freaking Frax. Oh, look, Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu's up 1% today. There you go. There's your big winner. That's recognizable name. All right, let's go look at the news here. Make sure we didn't miss anything on the news here. U.S. dollar. See the headlines. Dow Jones edges higher on dovish Fed minutes. That was 3 hours ago. Gas and shelter. What is big time? Eric Browning. U.S. stock futures deflate on the latest inflation data. Yeah, all right, that's it. Let's go check out charts. Let's look at the DXY. DXY got a nice big blue dildo because I have blue and purple instead of green and red. But nice big dildo candle there going on the U.S. dollar. That's lovely to see. ADA. ADA still coming down. I know Tim did a bunch of stuff on this earlier. Right now, sitting in a low liquidity order block. You can see that it is getting support off of this prime range right there. That's coming down, but we are sitting right now in the platinum pocket. I can see this coming down to 23.3 cents to the bottom of the platinum pocket here. No problem. Previously did it there anyways. Why not? However, on the 12-hour, we are starting to get the green candles coming up here. So, um, yeah, I would look at this MVP. I'd watch this. Hey, shout out Chart Prime in the chat. I'd love seeing you here, man. Yeah, we're gonna be watching that right there. If these green candles continue to print on the MVP here, very good possibility that ADA may be making some local bottom here, and it could be an entry to get into the upside. But again, I'm going to be watching really close for this 887. This could grind down as it starts to create higher candles here. And once we get that big one, maybe that'll be it. Bounce in there, get into that long, and try to ride it back up. At least take a profit up there at the 786. So, all right, let's go and see what we got in the world of. Let's go check Matic. I want to check XRP, and then we're going to see where we're at with time there. Let me fix my fixed range volume profile here and see how that's looking. Load for me, baby. All right, there we go. So let's see. Yeah, we're hitting right now. We did get this buy indicator back here, but it seemed to have hit the ceiling there on the dynamic reactor, giving it a crash back. That was also going to be in line with my 786 fib there. We are below right now on the green trend assistant here, and you can see we've started a red trend assistant there. So that is likely going to be coming down some more. If it cannot hold this level here, it is going to be a triple bottom at that point. Maybe here at this point, we do get a little bounce up and come up like this and then come back down. And then, we got a nice head and shoulders. Let's see what that breakout would be there for that. That breakout would be, guys, you'd be looking at a 41 cent Polygon Matic. That would be ugly. That's what I'm watching for right there. Let's go check XRP. XRP way over here with that. There we go. XRP down below its fixed range volume profile value area low. We are heading back down to the 236. Clean rejection off the 382 there. You can see that we're sitting below the dynamic reactor here, which is always bearish. That's that red right there. We are sitting right now on a prime range that's starting to turn a little bit green. If we can hold that as support, that might be a good entry point to look at getting into an XRP long. But again, with the bearishness that's going on with Bitcoin, I'm a little hesitant. But let's go ahead and see what this setup would look like here. We're going to set up a long here. We're going to go like this. We're going to ride this back up to the 382, or at least up to this prime range here at the bottom of that order block. We're going to go ahead and set this right about our 3-to-1. That's what I would do with it. It's going to give you this little area here. If we do this and we go, hey, look, it's probably going to wick up to that 382, then we can easily bring this down below the previous range there and get a 2.5 for a long off of that bounce right there. So that's what I'd be looking at for a long there if it were me. The reason I'm saying that is we do have curvature going on here. We do have the green candles on the MVP. We are way deep on the RSI, and it's starting to get smaller and smaller candles there. A lot of them having little wick tips on them. That's how Heikenashis work on candles, guys. And then if we go here and we look at the money flow, let's see how the money flow is looking. Nope, wrong one right there. Um, yeah, let's go. Looking at the money flow here, we do have a nice flip coming up here on the ribbon. Um, that's the trend ribbon right here. It is starting to come up, even though money's coming down. That's not horrible. This ribbon flipping up means that momentum's about to change. So, um, and let's go check our pro suite, and we'll see how that's looking. And then we will. I think this would be a setup that I would work with. I would work this setup. Yeah, we get a green oscillator, green momentum dot pulling into the cloud here also, guys. And the cloud is nice and fat, which means this typically will run that entire cloud, making that target extremely possible. That's what I'd look out for a trade on XRP. Yeah, let's do that. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all joining me here. If you guys are watching this later on, or if you have time to do it after watching it live right now, go ahead and hit that share button and share this out to people. Let's grow the channel. We need to get it up there. I'm okay with talking to 20 of you, but I'd love to talk to 200 of you. Let's do that, and let's make that a goal. But hey, I appreciate you guys joining me here and supporting the show every day. You guys are awesome, and you're why I do what I do. Bringing you news, bringing you technical analysis, bringing you macroeconomics so that you can have knowledge. Why? Because knowledge is profit. Thanks for joining me here today, guys. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Until then, trade safe, stay primed. Remember, knowledge is profit.
That was awesome, dude!